But in 1997, Seinfeld is airing season 9, episode 3, The Serenity Now. Jerry opens up his feelings. Elaine is getting hit on by the Jews. Kramer gets a screen door. George helps his father sell computers. Serenity Now.
I feel like this has to be like one of the classics of for Seinfeld, Steve. This is a catchphrase that even if you didn't know about the show, you knew about this.
Shout out to Frank, man.
Legend. Jerry Stiller, he made 2 shows percentages better because of just him being in that. King of Queens, that show wouldn't have lasted if it wasn't for him. He's a powerhouse, dude. He's like a Danny DeVito where you look at him and you're like, I don't get this. But and then you just see him acting and what he's doing, the energy he brings. He goes for the laughs, dude. He'll show up in like weird, like he was in Heavyweights. You know, like he'll just show up and be hilarious for a little bit just because he loves it. So RIP to that legend too, dude.
Speaking of Jerry Stiller, it's him and his wife Estelle, and they're going at it about Estelle not moving up her seat. They're just going back and forth. It's the machinations. It's how it's made. Oh no, it's you. Serenity now.
That's it, Steve. That's the new saying. That's the new jingle to just bring down the blood pressure. What's the guy's name? What's the giant dude that is like the motivational speaker?
Tony Robbins.
It's a Tony Robbins thing. You know, you just got to repeat it, Steve, and it will calm you down. It's not working too well for Jerry, for Frank, Steve.
And they also mentioned the screen door that needs to be worked on. And Estelle says, we still haven't fixed that door. Serenity now.
Throw that piece of crap out.
I love that. And then we cut to the diner, Steve. There's another cameo. Lori Loughlin, Steve.
Aunt Becky
Out of the attic in the diner. She's going out with Jerry. She's planning something and just kind of like makes a point that she's like, you know, it's weird. You just never get mad to Jerry. And that's like a little like seed, Steve. I get mad all the time. What are you talking about? He takes it a little personally.
I get peeved. She's like, no, but have you ever really, really been mad? You don't have to lie to kick it, Jerry.
I love that. Well, then we go to Jerry's. George hears about the conversation and he's kind of in agreement. He's like, yeah, that actually is true. So Jerry's kind of getting it from everybody. Kramer shows up. Jerry kind of goes off half-heartedly on Kramer just to like do the opposite. Kramer just starts laughing in his face, Steve. He's not a threat, Steve. That hurts as a man. You know, it hurts to know that people are like, he's not dangerous. You want to be Steven Seagal.
George asks if anyone can help fix his screen door. Jerry's not trying to have any part of it. Kramer, he offers. He's like, yeah, I don't mind going out into the country. They leave. Elaine comes in and she's like, I need someone to go to the bar mitzvah with me. So she asked Jerry. Jerry has other plans. You know, I was supposed to go to the Knicks game. That fell off. Definitely not trying to go to no bar mitzvah with you, Elaine.
What a weird thing to be asked to go to as just like an employee. I feel like that's kind of a personal thing that for your boss to ask you to do, but no one wants to do that. So everybody's out of that. We cut to Frank's. The screen door, you're not fixing that thing. It's almost in pieces. So instead of like throwing it out, Kramer's like, hey, I love trash. Let me get that. And Frank obliges. So Kramer's got a new screen door. For an apartment, that's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, it's Kramer.
I mean, it is Kramer. George notices a bunch of boxes in the house, and this isn't like packing boxes. This isn't stuff that Frank's like collecting. He's like, you know, what is this? And we come to find out that Frank's onto this new like scheme or like get rid quick scheme. And I think they're computers, Steve, if I'm not mistaken.
Selling desktops.
I mean, I guess it's better than knives. You know, I just don't think George is a little caught off guard here, you know?
And George asked, like, but there are already computer sellers and developers out there. Like, what about Dell? What about this company? Like, it's like, I got my own methods. Don't worry about them. And Estelle again calls out, you're selling computers?
Get them the fuck out of here. I also like, Steve, this kind of is like central to our show. Frank explains how he got into this scheme by explaining that he watched a fascinating movie with that girl from the bus called The Net, Steve, a movie that I know you love, near to your heart.
That provocative girl.
So that's, the net. Dennis Miller really got to him. That's why he's selling these computers. So we cut to the diner. Jerry's, again, kind of giving like this half-hearted, going off on the fact that there's not enough creamer. Lori Loughlin, she's like, still, you're not really being like, you're not committing to this. You're not angry.
Yeah.
You're being petty right now.
Yeah, you're really trying, and I can tell.
You're not mad. You need to open up. And then he kind of does get pissed, Steve. He's like, oh, yeah, I need to open up. He's boiling, Steve. The kettle's boiling right now. He's TNT.
Yeah, she was like, all right, that was actually good. And then we cut to the bar mitzvah. We see Mr. Littman with his son, Junior Littman. My son's about to be a man.
Hell yeah, he is, because he reaches over to Elaine and throws a nice little tongue-filled Hava Nagila into her. Goes for a full French kiss on a grown woman, Steve. This kid's 13. The balls.
Yeah, and it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, too.
About to be a king of industry. He's going to be telling people when he's a 20-some-year-old, like, dude, fucking just straight down the throat on this chick. Hava na fucking Gila.
As Elaine's explaining it to Jerry, he's like, he slipped in tongue? He's a man's man.
Hey, Jerry's a grown-ass man. He respects it.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's going places. George admits pathetically that he didn't even try that till he was 23. So this kid's got a decade on him. Elaine's actually getting a lot of invites from other bar mitzvahs, and she's the talk of the town, Steve. These young Jewish kids, they know she's hot to try.
Yeah, she had 6. We see Jerry on the phone, and he's going off on this airline. He's really like putting this to practice from the stuff Patty was telling him. And when he gets off the phone, he tells him, like, she showed me how to get mad. You got a problem with that?
You want to fight? So outside, while Jerry's on that phone, Elaine and George hear like drilling. They're like, what the fuck is that? And they don't, they leave. And they see Kramer installing that rickety ass screen door on his apartment, which you're right. I like that, though. It's one more door the cops have to come in. Smart.
And then we cut to the garage. And George talking to his dad. From now on, I'm the professor. You will refer to me as Mr. Costanza, and you will be referred to as Costanza. We see his arch nemesis coming to the garage, Lloyd Braun. He asks, like, what is Lloyd Braun doing here? Your mother wanted him here. Ever since we were kids, she always liked him more than me.
Lloyd Braun, very polite man, Steve, but he's like, he was in a freaking mental institution. And that doesn't matter to Frank Costanza. He's like, the crazier, the better. The crazy ones are the ones that sell good. To speak to that point, Lloyd sits down, makes one phone call, and he's off to the races, Steve. He's selling these things like hotcakes. Call Gateway and get him a job, because he's selling these things like they're not computers in Frank Costanza's garage.
Put another check mark on him, man. And we cut to the little Littman's room, and Elaine, she's like, I accept your apology. And dude says, like, I'm not apologizing. I'm a man. The rabbi said so. Elaine's just like, tell your friend that I'm not attending his bar mitzvah, by the way.
I like Elaine's like, what you did was inappropriate. And Adam's like, no, it wasn't. It was perfect. And I told everyone. Fucking little psycho. Again, dude, to speak on the balls on this little youngster, he is a man at this point, contextually. He even is like, look, maybe that was inappropriate, but what's not inappropriate? You and me going out this Friday. It's like, yeah, all right, dude. Fucking, this kid's a badass. She starts, going off on him. And she's basically like, look, man, you're not a man. So Adam puts 2 and 2 together and is like, oh, well, if I'm not a man, then this is all a sham. Judaism, bar mitzvahs, I renounce my faith. He renounces his faith for this woman, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it is Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
It's the power.
Back to the garage, we're having a sales contest. Loser gets fired. Winner gets a pitcher of water.
And George is like, I'm out of here. And as he's leaving, Frank's like, you could never compete with Lloyd Braun, just to really stick it in. So that sets George off, and he starts cold calling immediately. And you think it's going to be like this fairy tale thing. Hard no. Hard no. What's that? God, son of a Serenity now.
Hey, you want a computer? Why not? Oh, That's a good answer. Serenity now.
Now we cut to Mr. Lippman's. Elaine's going from the kid to the bull, I guess, from the young calf to the bull, and is like, look, your kid's out of control.
She says to him, you can't become a man overnight. You haven't been jaded by life yet. You have to have certain experiences, and you're young. Like, the kid leaves. He's just like, whatever. And so Mr. Lippman says, oh, so those are some of the things you're looking for in a man, right? Oh, okay. All right. And then he goes in for the dive.
I mean, these Lippmans, Steve, they got a healthy libido, if nothing else. There's some in those genes. Cut to the hallway again, and Jerry and his, what's Lori Laughlin's name in this? Patty?
Patty, yeah.
Yeah, they come home. Kramer's kind of turned this thing into Anywhere USA, Steve. The outside of Bubba Gum Shrimp. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. He's kind of decorated the hallway. I think there's some sand or something, but it's a nice all-American feel out there.
I mean, he made it into a porch, basically.
Inside, though, you see?
Inside, yeah. And like, he's going back and forth with some kids, I guess, that live on the floor. He tells them kids have been yelling at me all day, all afternoon.
I mean, you got this thing set up. You're asking for it. There's American flags, there's wind chimes, there's a screen door, there's a nice little seat. You're dealing with some of New York's little brats. Doesn't sound good. So that's set up. Then we go into Jerry's. You know, all this like honesty. Jerry's feeling uplifted. He's feeling emotional right now. You know, he's learned to let loose a little bit. He's now just embracing, expressing his anger, and he's doing it all the time, Steve. Patty's not thrilled.
Yeah, and it's gotten to the point where she's just fed up and she's like, goodbye. Well, double goodbye. So Patty leaves. Elaine comes in and she wants to know if Jerry can accompany her to La Cane La Dad.
Oh, God, but that was the restaurant that Jerry went out with Patty, and now the other emotions are coming out, Steve. Anger's not the only one. Now the whole thing's let out. It's Pandora's box. It's
salty discharge? This is horrible. I care.
I'm human. So later in the hallway, Jerry, tears flowing, he's crying to Kramer, and George shows up and needs to talk. So we go back into Jerry's, and the talk was just George just trying to hack her computer, Steve. He's desperate.
Yeah, he has this whole idea where he's going to steal the computers, put them in Kramer's room, and act like they're cells. Is that how it went?
I think he's just going to mark them as sales and then somehow return them just to beat Lloyd Braun, Steve. It's that petty.
Yeah, that's why I love Jerry.
Also, while all this is happening, Jerry's fully open. He's telling George and Kramer he loves them, in fact. It's all coming out. We see this war that Kramer's in. It's kind of coming to a head. The kids have completely fucked up Anytown, USA. There's shaving cream, I think. It's just a mess.
They throw a rock at him. And George pulls Jerry into his place. He's like, dude, it's just the chick. You always have a chick, man. You never heard of feelings? But anyway, you want to buy a computer, you know, you can watch porn, you can stock quotes.
You could write a novel on this thing. This thing's it's a money maker. You gotta spend money to make money, guys. He's throwing a hard sales pitch here. Also, I think somewhere in this, like, Kramer has this safe word of hoochie mama that we hear about. I don't remember what that's in. I think it's in context to the war with the kids.
Yeah, because he rushes in as usual, and they've shaving creamed Kramer. They're just doing the most to do. So Kramer, he goes underneath Jerry's sink to get a hose, and he's like, hey, George, when I yell hoochie mama, you turn the hose. All right. Hoochie mama. Come on, George. Come on, get George.
George, he's taken aback because Jerry's like kind of getting real lovey-dovey with him. So he misses that mark. So, you know, whatever. Shame on George, but no one likes Kramer in this room. So we cut to a taxi with George and Elaine. And now Elaine's being kind of educated. George, a Jewish person, is kind of telling her about why all these Jewish men are into her. She's got chicks appeal, Steve. She's got that chicks appeal. You know what I'm saying?
It's something I never would have knew about if I didn't watch this show.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another reason why this episode's so prolific. I didn't know what a shiksa was, but it's a non-Jewish woman, Steve. Jewish men love non-Jewish women. So then that Schick's appeal, it's an or at this point for Elaine. And that's what happened to the Lipmans. The kid got infatuated, and even the old bull got infatuated. So he also tries to sell Elaine a computer. He educated her, and he's like, also computers, they're fucking dope.
And then Elaine makes it back to the Lipmans. She tells him, like, look, I appreciate the fact that you find me attractive to the point where you jump my bones, but this wouldn't work.
I'm a Shiksa. That's all this is. She tries to tell the Lipman what's up.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not it. And you know what? I renounce. How easy is it to renounce Judaism, Steve? All these Jewish guys, they're just throwing it away immediately.
Yeah, I think you got to reattach the foreskin after that. Something.
Yeah. You got to go back to the moil and get the whatever he took off. So we cut back to Jerry's. Kramer's still going through this war. Now he's covered in eggs. He's been egged. The ultimate insult. But he's fully into the Serenity Now thing. He's not phased. Serenity Now. This is nothing.
Apparently, it's working for him because he says it just melts the anger right off. He tries to open up a bag of chips and he's struggling. And then he just gives up. Just Serenity Now.
See? Elaine comes over and she's telling Jerry and everybody like what happened with Lipman. He had renounced his faith, but Jerry, he's moved on to a new feeling of love. And this one, it's he's getting creepy, but he's just like kind of staring at Elaine. I've just never noticed that before.
Sit down, Elaine. I've been thinking we're just wandering on this blue sphere, and can't help but think like, what's it like to be complete? You're looking everywhere for some meeting, and this whole time it's right in front of you. So Jerry gets on his knee to propose, and right as he's doing that, George, that's when he pops in, and he's got the ultimate idea of stealing these computers and basically scamming his dad.
He's not even stealing them. He's going to purchase them, Steve. That's the scam. He's putting his money up, making it out like he's selling these things. And then he's just going to somehow return them and get his money back. But in that process, he's going to beat Lloyd Braun. And that's all that matters. Fuck honesty. Fuck selling.
And Jerry's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask Elaine to marry me. So he leaves. And as he does that, Elaine's got a mouthful of banana. She's just awkward at this point. Like, whoa, like, I think George is calling me. What would you say, George?
Yeah, I gotta go. She gets out just in time before she's absorbed. So we cut to Frank's garage. Computers, numbers, it's all good. As far as Frank's concerned, he's doing fantastic. So he fires Lloyd Braun because it looks like George is completely dominating him in the sales.
Oh, hello, Mr. Vandelay. Oh, really? 24? Oh.
Excuse me, is that Don Mattingly? Don, hey, what's up? 5,000 computers? Got it.
He's a disconnected number.
Yeah. But before Lloyd leaves, I mean, he handles the firing very well. He's very adjusted, Steve. He's not the psychopath we've been led to believe, but he tells George this whole Serenity Now thing that I'm hearing about, it's not good. It's actually harmful. It makes you bottle up your emotions, and eventually you just blow up.
Serenity now, insanity later.
Wise words, Lloyd. So we cut back to Anytown, USA, we'll call it. And Kramer's basically PTSD'd out. He's surrounded by TP, eggs. He's kind of muttering Serenity Now to himself emptily, but he's just gone, Steve. He's shell-shocked.
And Jerry shows up and he steps on his last roast. So Kramer's had enough. He goes back into his place. It's just Serenity Now, Serenity Now. And George shows up. He's just glad that he finally beat Braun.
Thrilled. Part of that scam was Kramer's just going to hold on to these computers in his place,
right,
until I can return them. So Kramer's gone inside. We can hear him behind this closed doors yelling Serenity Now, but then we also hear him completely snap and just start demolishing, going Motley Crue on this apartment. He's destroying everything, Steve.
And then he comes back into Jerry's and he's like, hey man, I owe you one.
Yeah, because George is like, I can't, you destroyed 25 computers, dude. You couldn't just punch a pillow? And Kramer's like, IOU time, buddy. Once I get this whole screen door thing figured out, I'll get you that money. So George is out. What's 25 computers in the 90s, Steve? That's a lot of scratch.
Probably like shit, close to six figures in late 90s.
Yeah, it's not he's down a lot. Dad's down a lot, but Jerry's cool. He's letting his emotions out, and it's the best thing he's ever done. He's feeling free. He's not feeling weighed down by all that everything that he was going through his head. Sure, he's no longer funny, which is probably kind of important for a comedian, but life's too short. You got to let people know how you feel.
George calls him out on it like, hey, Jerry, please don't tell me you love me. I don't want to hear that shit again.
But he does ask George how he is, and cut to like I don't know what you call it, or it's a rabbi's office. Elaine's gone to a rabbi now, and his name's Rabbi Glickman. I guess she wants to go to a holy man just to kind of figure out, how do you eliminate this chick's appeal? How could I stop this? He's like, you know how you stop it? You gotta just release it. So let me get in on that. Even the rabbi tries to go at it, Steve. Jewish men are really sexual beasts in the show.
And I have access to a timeshare, and if you want, we can go out on the holidays. And then he looks around and she's gone.
Elaine, God, it's big ass titties. Back to Jerry's. Jerry's like, George, just confess all your emotions, man. It's gonna make you feel better. George starts doing that, and then we see the aftermath of that. And whatever George told Jerry is disturbed Jerry to the point where he's speechless. This is a comedian, Steve.
I think you scared me straight. And then Elaine comes in and she revisits that conversation they had earlier. She even like echoes some of the things Jerry said verbatim. Maybe everything we need is right in front of us. Hey, Jerry, I will marry you. And Jerry says, I don't see that happening. What about the stuff that you said earlier? Oh, that Jerry doesn't exist anymore.
Not interested. Ah, shit. And then we cut to the credits, Steve, and we see George. He's kind of like suggesting that the amazing amount of sales Lloyd did would offset all the destruction that Kramer caused. This is where we find out Lloyd is a psychopath, because Frank's like, here's the thing, he didn't sell a thing. I never even plugged the phone in. He was just talking.
He just like the sound of that bell.
Lloyd Braun. he's something's gonna happen there, Steve. He basically also says, like, you know what, man, I just wanted somebody to help you compete against to And as they're kind of talking about that, Estelle, Frank's wife, it starts going off on him about something about, I think, using the garage door, or using the garage as an office, because the garage comes up. You hear Estelle screaming. George is like, you know what, Dad, maybe you should try a new slogan, like maybe Hoochie Mama or something, just calm down. So that's how this ends. Estelle's screaming at him to get out of the way, and Frank's just like, Hoochie Mama! Hoochie Mama!
Classic episode, man.
I feel like that has to be one of the top ones because of how, like, the chicks appeal and all that stuff. The Serenity now, that's up there.
And this is the final season, man. So Seinfeld is one of those rare sitcoms where they really did end out on top. I think they were still ranked number one, and couldn't help but think, man, if they could have kept going, I really think they would have kept that stride, because it was just the perfect show, man. Everybody played the role, the eccentric characters, and it just all around great sitcom.
I mean, you see, like, Larry David, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, how popular that is. And it's not the same show. It's just like, but that same kind of humor and stuff. I agree with it. Probably would have, I don't know if it would have gone on forever, but they could have squeezed that orange for a lot more juice. That's for sure.
Definitely, man.